So I was at the Borgata for, I hadn't, I was taking time off for a couple of days, so I was staying there anyway. Once I got eliminated from day two of the opener, I had an option to play, just get in as a late start for a semi-turbo, deeper stack tournament. I think it was like a $400 buy-in, but they had a side bet that went with it, which was everybody paid an extra $30 who wanted to be in a last man standing competition thing. So I think 25 went to the prize pool, and I jumped in that, and I had a pretty nice deep. So even though it's turbo, it wasn't that bad. I looked at the compared the level 10 blind levels between the opener, which was a better structure, and this one. It was only they had only skipped one level through the first 10 levels, but the time was 25 minutes instead of 30 minutes. 30 minutes itself was not that great. I mean, I prefer 40 minutes or more, but so I ended up it was pretty much didn't get a lot of cards early on. I had near starting stack. Relatively deep, not that deep, level 5, 6, 7, somewhere in that range. And I finally started getting some cards. I'd won a pot to kind of get up to, starting stack was 30K. It gotten up to about 32K. And a few hands later, there was a raise from under the gun. He had by far the biggest stack on the table. I had 32. Most people had around there, maybe a little bit more. He had like 150K. Like he is stacked. So he had been raised, 2.5x raised under the gun. Comes to me. I look at King Queen of Spades. Of course, I'm going to call. See a flop there. I call, but the button who had a smaller stack, maybe half my stack, maybe had 15, 16K. He goes all in. So, but the initial aggressor now goes over the top. The big stack goes all in. I'm like, what am I waiting for? I mean, I'm probably behind. Definitely, I'm gonna need help. But I'm not faulting King Queen of Spades in that spot. Got to try to get a lot of chips to run deep. So I call, and we go three ways into the flop, and it's an amazing flop. So I turn over my King Queen of Spades. Under the gun, guy had Ace King, and the button had Ace Jack, and the flop was King Queen. So right away I flop my boat, but and it held up. So I had not a triple up, but close to a triple up, and Ace King is telling me, oh, you should have just folded that. I'm like, maybe. I'm not as good as you are, maybe. And then I had called, and if the button had not shoved, giving him an opportunity to like go over the top, we would have seen a flop. It would have ended up the same way. He's not, he has Ace King, King Queen. He's not going anywhere. So yeah. So from there, it was I just cruised easily. Relatively easily, like just consistent play, normal my game. Just played my game, and eventually we made it to the final table. So we got to the final table. Not everyone had jumped into the last man standing, and the prize pool for that had built up to almost 2,500. So it on itself was a good prize. So when we got to the final table, a lot of I think we checked when there was 8 of us left at the final table. Only 4 of us had the last man standing card. But one of the guys, he looked like a young aggro Euro. He don't want to chop you like, I want the whole thing. I want the last man standing. I want the first place. So decided to play a little bit, and when we got down to I believe 6 players, at this point the blind levels were like really high. There was 3 of us left, and aggro Euro had lost a couple of chips, so now we're all kind of like close to even. And he decides, okay, let's chop now. So the 3 of us chopped it. It took about $800 each or something. So which is pretty good side bet. So I ended up on the button on the big blind. There was raise from under the gun, and then a smaller stack goes all in. I had about 700, maybe 800K. The shove was about 575. I look at ace queen off, six handed. I wanted to kind of fold, but this is like so late, and things like it'd be too tight to fold, and I had him covered anyway. So I call, and then the initial raiser folds his cards face up, and it was ace queen too. He had ace queen, ace queen. The other guy turns over nines, so I knew it wasn't quite a flip since the ace and the queen were done. But there were, they still had four outs. And I even drew a straight to the Broadway on the turn. A king would have helped me as well, but didn't hold up. So I was the smallest stack. A few hands later, again, ace queen. I shove. My 200 and change K stack. I get called. There's an all-in behind me. Again, pocket nines. Again, I have ace queen. And again, I don't improve. And I was eliminated in sixth place. And they chopped, literally right after I left. They chopped that five-way pot, and they just did a flip for the trophy. So it was a pretty good day. Mostly happy with the way I played. I probably need to be less conservative, but that's I'm not sure. I mean, it's sometimes I just not in the right moment. Like I folded a king jack the final table, but I was under the gun plus one. Because there could be action behind me, and it's not the kind of hand I would want to go call it all in with. So I folded it, but it was just like the big blind, small blind went heads up on raised pot, and it was like a king high flop. And so, I mean, those things kind of, maybe I should take a little bit more, decide I'm going to fold in advance, just going to a small raise or call, and then play it out. But then, that's a sure way of to lose, a lot of chips if you're not, willing to battle with a hand. It's not a hand I could play super strongly out of position. And you don't know if you're going to be in position or out of position until, the action is finished. So it's pretty good. So I'm back, back to work again. And I'll probably play, I might try to play the championship, which starts next week.